guys, I'm Lily and today I'm going to talk you through my top 5 things to pack when sailing as a guest or working on board a cruise ship. So I've worked on board for quite some time now, and as a guest entertainer I get to experience the ship as a guest, and I literally would not get on the ship without these things. They are the absolute first things that go in my case when I'm packing. Number 5 is a little bit optional, but it is the thing that has changed my life the most on board. So number 1 is a water bottle. In case you didn't know, you can't drink the water that comes out the tap in your cabin. This is because the water on board a cruise ship is heavily chlorinated. They do have water stations all around the ship, both in crew area and in guest area. So carrying a water bottle or having one with you is the absolute best way to stay hydrated while you're on board, and you can take the water anywhere you need to be on the ship. You can even pop it in your fridge to make sure it stays nice and cold. This is my water bottle. It has a straw to drink out of, and it has this little clip as well for carrying, and the little loops so I can carry that anywhere that I want. And it also has this little button, which is just for fun. Number 2 on my list, and staying within the beverage area, is a flask for hot drinks. So this is an absolute game changer. Number 1, because the cups sometimes on board are quite small and I just prefer a larger beverage. So this is an example of the cup that you would get on board in the crew mess or in the buffet, and this is the flask that I like to keep with me. So you can see the size difference there. And number 2, it means that you can go grab a tea and a coffee and you can take it anywhere on the ship with you. You can bring it back to your cabin and you don't need to worry about spilling it. I literally use my flask every morning to go get a coffee, and I start my day in the solarium. And if I want to head out of the solarium at any point before I finish my coffee, I just take it with me and I don't need to worry. So number 3 is adapters. So on any cruise ship there will normally be a couple of different types of plugs available. On our ship we have American plugs and we have European plugs, but we don't have English plugs. There are a couple of different types of adapters that I like to bring to make sure that I can use all of my electricals and I can charge everything to my heart's content. It's also worth noting that the American plugs will normally have a lower voltage. So for instance, if I use my hairdryer, I will always use it with the European adapter because it's a high voltage. So if I put it on with a European adapter, it sort of runs as it usually would in England, but if I use it with an American adapter, it runs at like lower capacity. So it would take me absolutely ages to dry my hair. So this sort of thing is a really great adapter to have, as it has multiple ports. So I'll just show you a bit more up close. This is what I have. And then the English plug goes in here. Another reason why this is super useful is because I have a couple of chargers that have like a shaver end, and if I take this one out, so this is the Northern European one, the shaver end will go into the Northern European slot, and that will go into the European plug, or it will go into the American plug. So this is like super useful. If I already have something in the European plug and I want to charge this, then I can put it in the American plug. So it's definitely worth having a couple of different types of adapters, just so that you can kind of shimmy things around. If you need to charge things at the same time, you can kind of work out what's what. Also, if you can get adapters like these with multiple USB slots, these are especially useful, as obviously it gives you an extra plug socket. For instance, in my cabin I only have 2 American plugs and 1 European plug, so this allows me to charge even more things at one time safely. Number 4 is magnets. This is a random thing to take on holiday with you, but for cruise ships they are absolutely ideal. They're small and easy to pack, and in case you didn't know, all of the walls in all of the cabins on cruise ships are made of metal. So that means that if you take magnets with you, you can stick them to the wall, and what is more, you can stick anything you want to the wall if you've got magnets. So for instance, I have my schedule attached to the wall of where we're going and what ports we're in. You can stick your baggage tags to the wall. You can take photos with you and stick photos to the wall. That one's especially useful for crew if you're going to be on board for a really long time. It's really nice to take some photos with you and be able to pop them on your wall. Now the reason magnets are especially useful is because within your cabin you will only have a certain amount of desk space. Cabins are all very compact. Even within a guest stateroom you would only have a small desk area. So really you want to keep that free from as much as you want, so you do end up with quite a few bits of paper. So if you can stick them to your wall, that gets them out of the way and it makes for a super organized, clean and tidy cabin. So number 5, and my last packing tip and my most useful thing that I have found, is this travel blender. So I use this predominantly for protein shakes, and yes, you could just use a protein shaker, but having this on board gives me the flexibility of being able to add oats to my protein shake. I can add chia seeds, or you could add berries, and this means that for some reason if I need a nutritional snack outside of meal times, shows, I can have one at any point. Now this has been so useful because I can always have a shake in between shows. So normally when we do a show, we'll do 2 shows and we completely miss dinner time. So this means that I can have something filling and nutritious so that I have energy for the next show. But this could also be a super great breakfast option. So if you don't want to go to the buffet where it's super busy, you can just make yourself a shake in your cabin or up in the solarium or anywhere you want to be and enjoy a breakfast shake. I would absolutely 100% recommend this, especially for crew on board when you're on board for many months. But I think even for guests, this is a really great addition to your suitcase as well. And even when I'm only on for a short amount of time, I still bring this with me and I use it most days. So those are my top 5 things that I have found the most useful this year. I really hope you found that helpful. If you do have any questions about life on board or how to prepare for it, please drop me a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and I'll see you soon. And today I'm going to talk you through my 5 top... Oh, my light just went off. Oh, God's sake.